1, action.
Welcome to the HustleCo Morning Show Saturday edition. Long weekend, May 2-4. How y'all doing?
Good, I'm sure they're doing good. Everybody's getting drunk or doing something fun.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's all about the hustle, baby. When there's weekends don't exist and holidays don't exist. We don't know what a long weekend means. You know, we've been in this game for like 2 months.
The May 2-4 weekend, what's that again? Man, I don't even know what the fucking holiday is.
Yeah.
To be honest, and it's just like, it's an opportunity for Hussam and I to do a lot of business development without any distractions. There's no management really required right now today. We can just reach out to 150 people, partnerships, whatever, beer companies, coffee companies, whatever we want to do. Like Calgary Heritage Roasting Company, I want to reach out to them and find out how much we can get their beans for to have them here, because they do have the best coffee I've ever tasted.
Good job, guys.
But, I don't know, I kind of like Starbucks too.
And of course, you guys noticed Steve is back. His identity was stolen yesterday.
It's fucking ridiculous.
How do you feel about that, Stevie?
I feel like I'm going to file a claim with my insurance company because we have identity theft protection for tenants insurance. And I will be filing a claim against Zach, and I'll be taking 30% of the claim. But no, it's I feel good. I feel like Zach did a great job, and it was a great lesson in resourcefulness. Because yeah, I was out just actually just chatting with my parents. Because yesterday was a fucking huge day for Quadruple and HustleCo. Like, I guess for Hussam and I, we had to make a very tough decision. We terminated services with a client because they were not appreciating what we were doing. They were undermining our work, and we basically had to pull the trigger first, strike preemptively, and it worked very well.
Feels great.
It feels awesome.
It's important for you to know how much you're worth, so other people can know how much you're worth. It's important before you actually go and try selling something. You actually even gotta believe in it first, or believe in yourself if you're trying to sell yourself to other people. Because if you don't, you won't be as convincing at all. Like, it's just obvious.
It's like everyone says, like, you have to be influenced yourself to be able to influence others. So you have to believe in Brett Wilson's book, Redefining Success. This is a fantastic book. I've completely read it. No, I haven't, but I will read it, and I love Brett Wilson. But I will tell you how much I love Brett Wilson. I've seen him speak. I know where he lies on his views with marijuana prohibition, that sort of thing. He's a great guy. He says the two greatest gateway drugs are sugar and alcohol, and I completely agree with him, more so than marijuana. So he's a really good guy, Brett Wilson. I believe in it, and because I do, I can convince you guys that he's one of Canada's greatest people. But
going back to what you said about the client, like, sometimes you have to stop thinking about short-term shit. Like,
yes.
Like, do not make any decisions when you're desperate, when you're angry, when you're, oh my god, I need the money for next month and then that's after. Well, this is linear growth for you. Like,
exactly.
You have to think about the long-term goals that you have every day. And that's when Zach was telling us the other day, again, listening to people that work with you, is vision board. And it makes sense. If you put your photo of, like, you're jacked and that's how you want to be in 20 years, every day you wake up and you reverse engineer that in order to reach that goal. I just have to go to the gym. It's as simple as that.
Like the expression goes, start with the end in mind. Yeah. So know what your goals are, know where you want to go to.
Sometimes, like, if you don't know where you're going, you won't be able to get there, but you can do it. It's just you don't know where you want to go, but you have to define that. Like, yes. You have to define what you want to do in order for you to do it.
And see it every day, every morning. Always have it in the top of your head so you know that you're moving towards that goal. And Hussam and I had to take a step back and realize we were being complacent with this client. And the whole reason we started our own business over 2 years ago was because we worked under the supervision of a boss that didn't give us the creativity, didn't believe in us, didn't trust us, didn't let us spread our wings and do amazing things for that company like we could have. And this is basically what kind of happened with this client. They brought somebody in that started taking charge of the day-to-day operations that we had to report to, and it was basically just like we were back at VMG. Yeah. And we're like, fuck that. We don't care for the money per month that we're going to get paid, because we're moving on to bigger and better things, because our goals aren't to stay with them and make $4,000 a month. Our goals are to make $400,000 a month and be able to contribute more good to the world. So
exactly. I don't know if I mentioned the Sony guy before, but the Sony guy, when he first started, he created these amazing electronics. I'm talking about Sony's success in the 90s, not now. They fail to innovate. That's why they're failing. But in the 90s, what happened is he made all these electronics, Steve, and what this big company put in a huge purchase order for his, like in the millions, and he had nothing, basically. And they told him, there's one thing that we need to do. We're going to remove the Sony logo, and we're going to put our logo on it, and we're going to distribute it across the world. And you know what he said? Fuck no. He said, no, 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 because I want my product, my logo, to be the famous logo. And look what happened. He was able to forget about the short-term cash flow and think about the bigger vision. And that's very important, very important, very important. Clients will come and go, money will come and go, all that shit will come and go, but the only thing that will stay there is your final vision, final goal.
And to grow, you have to make sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time, to grow you have to make a risky decision. You have to do something where you will not move forward unless you take a chance where you could lose something. Like you have to take the next step. And the next step for us was firing that client, terminating our services with them. So that's the only way we could have grown in that situation. So what we did. And the feeling, how did we feel yesterday?
Peaceful,
even today.
Peace and powerful and strong. And the thing is, once you take massive determined action like that, you know your worth, you take that action, you're not afraid, it just feeds back into your brain and it tells you that you're capable, and then you take the next big risk and you start just doing that all the time, and that becomes
that snowball
your personality.
effect.
Exactly.
It's got the snowball effect, and it's just like any other kind of relationship. With a business relationship, it can be a toxic personal relationship with someone. Once you get rid of that, it's like that weight's off your shoulders, and you're like, I know what I'm worth. I stood up for myself. I stood up for my company, the people that work for us, and it fucking feels great.
It feels great, but it's also important to know that the opposite happens if you don't take action. If you don't take action and you be complacent, you're going to feed your mind that you're not worth it. So you're not going to take action next time. Mm-hmm. And it's just the opposite of a snowball effect. Like, that's what you need to know. You got any marketing tips? I have one really important one I want to share with people.
Marketing tips. You go share yours. I'm a little bit... Right now...
Your biggest marketing tool is this.
Mm-hmm.
This is your biggest marketing tool. There are softwares here that allow you to do videos, to publish content, Instagram stories, Instagram, everything, Snapchat, everything is in this phone. So you don't need a fancy camera. You don't need all that shit. All you need to do is document what you're doing in this phone, produce the content, upload it, and just start using the phone. A lot of people are stuck using their other, devices, laptops or whatever, and they're like, I need to go back, create content. No. Create it on the spot with your phone, and there's so many great softwares out there that will help you. I don't know if you've seen our Instagram stories, but if you want the tips on that, just shoot me an email at hello@hustleco.space, and I'll be able to tell you how to produce the best Instagram stories out there. But your phone is your biggest marketing tool.
Well, I think I've come up with a marketing tool now in the time that it just triggered in my head. And you mentioned this yesterday. We've been really good on the Instagram. The other thing that's good too is, which is absolutely necessary, and you guys can do it, anybody can do it, it's so easy, two-way communication. Social media is two-way. Don't just be on your feed and posting what you have and posting promotions and posting things of value like that. You should be doing that, but you should also be commenting on other people's posts. And extend that, my tip is going to be extend that to your personal brand too. So on your personal Facebook page, you see that you've got a friend that posts about something, or you see something, a news article, you're like, hey, you know what, my neighbor might find that cool. Tag your neighbor in it, because then you're on the top of their head and they're like, oh, Steve, and then they go and they see your profile, oh, HustleCo. And it kind of creates that snowball effect. And it also shows that, again, like Zach was saying yesterday about the personal branding, that's the most powerful thing you have.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely, and like it's so easy because all you have to do is just go on your Instagram and your Twitter and your Facebook and just search for whatever your industry is. For me, I search startups, YYC entrepreneurs, and I go on the hashtags and I see all these like entrepreneurs and companies, my target market, and I can directly communicate with them and not just, don't fucking use Instagram that gives me thumbs up or fantastic content when I'm talking about
Good
something
post.
sad, or when it's not even a post, it's like a blog post and they tell me that the photo is good, but that wasn't the intention because
and the photo was a stock photo? Yeah, some bullshit like that.
I know. And what happens if everybody's using automation and Instagram where they automate their marketing? There'll be no human interaction and it will be a bubble and it will fail. I mean, just don't do that shit. Just go person by person. if you have 100 dedicated fans that are willing to pay you $200 a year, you're making $200,000 from these people. But if you don't have that much dedicated fans, you're not going to be able to make money or convince them to do anything and to buy your products or services. It's just that clear.
Yeah.
I hate Instagram.
I know. It's like if you do what everybody else is doing, you'll get what everybody else is getting, right? So, you know, if everybody's using Instagram, and you can't get an edge up on Instagram. It's like you can't be using Instagram better than the next guy in line. But you can be, Hussam and I can be commenting better with our own personal brand that nobody in this fucking world can replicate.
Exactly.
So that's what gives us, and you say you always have to be different, right? You always have to be doing something unique. And Instagram is not one of them. Yeah, it can get you probably more followers, but is it going to get you engagement and conversions? Definitely not. No. Or at least not as much as if you were to just invest the time in commenting thoughtfully, right? On a lot of your target market.
Yeah, people have to stop thinking about like online, the digital market as just something else. This is a real life interaction. Like,
yes,
people don't know. Like when someone comments on your shit and you don't answer, it's like, hey man, your hair looks good today, and you just fucking walk away and not say anything. People don't understand. Just live in the digital world. Comment. Like you can meet people. All it takes is one message to one person that you like or admire or whatever, telling them, you know, hey, I would like to collaborate on this, and you're gonna gain a follower this much. If you spend 3 hours a day, reach out to 30 people, you're getting 30 new dedicated followers every day. What?
Yeah. You know what? Maybe you should just maybe we should treat social media like you said it, like a real human interaction, as if you were talking to that person in person. Like if they say, "Hey, I think you'd find this article interesting," they're like, "Oh, thanks, I read it. I really appreciate it." That's what they would say in person. Exactly. So they should do the same thing on digital media because we're getting more and more away from the face-to-face interaction with everything. Now we're going to be eventually self-driving cars. That's coming very soon.
Oh yeah.
And then you're just going to be interacting with, I guess, the robot. So can you be personal with the robot?
With why would you interact with self-driven car?
You wouldn't, but I mean, like, I'm trying to think of like how you would interact with people, like how we're losing that we saw it.
Everything will fade away, and what will stay at the end is a personal brand. I mean, people are moving away from robots online. I mean, there was a phase where it was all automated and shit, but they're moving away from that. They're looking for personal brand, genuine transparency. Everybody out there has something special to say, and something special that they have in them that other people will find beautiful. And you don't have to attract everybody in the fucking world. All you have to do is you have to attract the people that will stay there, that will live with your brand, that you can all depend on each other, create a culture, attract the right people. I mean, we've been to a few, spin studios, and they're all great, but they all attract different kind of people, but everybody's dedicated to that, spin club or cycle club, or whether it's boxing or stuff. It attracts its own people that other people think it's shit and I don't want to do it, but other people are dedicated, they love it, they live for it.
Yeah, and I think was when we went to Vancouver, our biggest lesson we learned, and I think we should elaborate that on another episode, but just basically, the brands that do the best are the ones that actually, like, it's their own brand and they attract that certain brand of people and they repel other certain types of people. But as long as they're doing what they believe in, they'll be successful.
Exactly.
Like there's some people that, they want the badass culture, or they want the friendly culture, or they want the, rebellious culture, or they want to attract this kind of demographic, So
stick to that. And again, it comes back, don't make short-term decisions and get people in that you don't want to be in your culture just so you can get cash, but they're going to quit or find another solution in a couple of months. No, you want people that are there all the time, and that takes time, but once you build it, it's built like a fucking fortress.
And it comes down to that complacency again, so don't be complacent.
Don't be complacent. This was maybe a longer episode, I'm not sure, but
we'll see.
Anything to add, Stevie?
A quote. When people show you who they are first, believe them. It's true.
Absolutely.
First impressions matter.
First impressions matter, and your gut feeling also matters as well. This is it for today. Thank you guys.
Yes.
Have a great weekend. We will tonight be going to Paul Van Dyke. If you're there, give us a shout.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Seen him twice. This is going to be my third time.
It's my first time seeing him.
He's incredible. Thanks to Marquee Beer Hall for having Paul Van Dyke.
Absolutely.
Do the outbound at the end. And thanks to Starbucks for sponsoring the radio show.
And my favorite drink, Venti Ice Americano with vanilla sweetener, an extra shot, and some cream. Thank you very much. Keep it real.
Do it live.
Do it live,
happy
baby.
May 2-4. Happy long weekend. Woo!
Woo! Hope it was recording.